Oh, how's it going, everyone? It's Jordy Pearson. Good to see you all again. Hope you're all doing well, and I hope everyone's keeping safe. Um, and I hope you're all enjoying this nice weather. I don't know about where everyone is. I don't know where everyone is, of course, but I have to say, here in Central Ontario, the weather has been beautiful this week. I'm so happy about it. Finally, some nice, warm weather. Few weeks of this and the lakes will be warm enough to swim and the beaches might be open by then. We'll see. Before I get too distracted, I wanted to start off by acknowledging that in last week's video I didn't finish talking about the filters. So I'm going to finish that first. So first up, last week I was talking about my new ND filter, my 6-stop Nissi filter. Which I had for a little over a week by that point, and I had finally gotten the test out, and gorgeous filter. As I said, when I first got it, I was a little concerned about the weight because it's so light, but having used it for a couple weeks now, I can say it's an absolutely top-notch filter, very well made, very easy to remove. It doesn't get stuck on the lens like some filters do. Color is also amazing. If you have your camera set with your white balance locked, it doesn't even shift with the filter on or off. It's almost imperceptible. I can't really see a shift. So I'm very happy with that. Since then, the polarizing filter that I ordered finally arrived. It's a little bit heavier than the ND filter, and I think that's mainly because there's 2 rings. It's also a little bit thicker. On my Sigma 24-70, I've noticed that if I stack the 2 of them at 24mm, there's a little tiny bit of a hard vignette in the corner, but not too bad. I wouldn't actually mind using these stacked for a landscape photo. It wouldn't be too bad, which would give me polarization and light reduction. Overall, it's nice. It has a little bit of a stiff rotation, but very smooth. The stiffness is nice. It's well damped. Its ability to reduce reflections, top notch. I have to say, and I'll include these images in the video, but on the left I have it with the polarizer to its minimum versus its maximum on the right side, and it does a great job of reducing the shine off of the leaves, reducing reflections and highlights, evening out the contrast, and my goodness, you should see what it does to a sunset sky. The high-flying clouds, they just pull out so much from the sky. It's amazing what this filter can do. It's very nicely done. My only other comment on that is, right now here in Canada at least, you can order direct from Nissi, or you can buy them on Amazon. I haven't found anyone else selling them yet here in Canada. Amazon, the price fluctuates a lot. Right now it's quite a bit higher than it was when I ordered them a month ago. So bear that in mind if you decide to get one. I had never tried the brand before, but I decided to take a chance when I ordered them, and I have no regrets. Very good filters. I'm very happy with them. Which brings me back to photography. This week's video, I'm not going to be out there with you, so to speak. In the video, this week's video, I'm not going out and shooting. It's basically come down to timing. With everything reopening now, it's not that I'm doing much more, because unfortunately I'm still waiting for my work to reopen, but with the parks reopening, I'm starting to get out and shoot a little bit more, but I'm also traveling around a little bit more while staying reasonably close to home and staying safe. Basically what I'm getting at is I haven't been able to record anything this week because I've been meeting people and going out and doing stuff, again, distantly with people, not right next to them, but I haven't actually recorded anything this week. So I took a lot of pictures this week, and I'm going to include them. I'm going to show them to you here as well, but I haven't been able to do my normal video format yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you back to the last few days and show you a few things, and we'll proceed from there. Gotta get back to this year, this month. Where are we? Oh yeah, it snowed last week. So earlier in the week I was trying some macro photography. I was actually quite happy with it. I got to play a little bit. The 24 to 70, and based on my experience with 24 to 70s, the 24 to 70 from any brand actually will do very well with macro photography. Just something that you guys should keep in mind. It is an option for you. Moving on. So I was quite happy with those. I did go back out to where I took those photos from last week's video. I went back out there. I was 20 minutes later leaving the house than I should have been, I'll admit. So I got there past sundown. Beautiful sky on the drive up. I will include the footage from the drive up. It was absolutely gorgeous. I'm interested in trying this composition again, because I was quite happy with the composition, just not necessarily the lighting on it. I would have preferred to be able to use the 6-stop filter and or the polarizer versus sitting there with the sun already set and doing a 30-second exposure at f16 and still having to push the ISO up. I would have preferred to have the control of being a little ahead of the sunset and getting the more dramatic light. But it was an interesting shot to try out. And I was just messing around in the backyard with the dandelions, which was always fun. And then that moves me into getting a little more serious. The one day my girlfriend had to go and do some work stuff, and so I had her drop me off on the side of the road, and I found, I have to double check, because people keep telling me these are marsh marigolds, some people call them buttercups. Actually, let's check that right now. Apparently I can't spell. Marsh marigold. They are marsh marigold. Yep, marsh marigold. Okay. So I just happened to find, let's go back. Yeah, marsh marigolds. And I had a bit of fun actually photographing them. There's a few different scenes that I tried. There's a little tiny waterfall. Not much, just a little bit. But it was fun. It was fun to experiment with a couple of new things. I always enjoy trying new little snippets, trying to find a little thing in a larger scene. In this case, I was just walking along the side of the road and didn't really have anything to go with, and I just happened to spot it. Didn't even have my tripod with me, so I had to hand hold, a 1/13 of a second and try. It's harder than it looks, people, and remember to turn your stabilizers on for that. And then when I got home, I went back out into the garden. I'm particularly happy about my magnolia. It's coming out quite nicely this year. But yeah, that's a lot of what I do during the week. If I'm hanging out at the house, I don't go very far. I can maybe go a couple 100 feet at most, or I'll do a kilometer walk with the dogs. That's about it. That's my day to day. But yesterday I did meet up with one of my photography friends, and we went up to Torrance Barrens, which is in Gravenhurst. Absolutely beautiful place. If you're looking for dark skies, night times, it's actually a dark sky preserve. It is gorgeous at night. It's starting to see a bit more light pollution than it used to. So one thing I will say, unfortunately, is that with the growth of Gravenhurst, Aurelia, Barry, light pollution is becoming a larger problem there. I can think of many places within 2 hours of here that have much darker skies than the Torrance Barrens no light zone now, whereas 15, 20 years ago when I was little and we were going there, it would be perfectly dark at night. Now it's not, which is sad. It is sad to see, but we're doing okay with it. And the daytime is beautiful. I won't go through all the images. This one is my favorite, and you will be seeing this one at the end of the video as well. Just the way the scene worked out, it feels a lot like almost like a tundra scene. You've got the bright moss, you've got the little stunted tree. I was really happy with this image, and I didn't do too much with it. I really just did a little bit of contrast adjustment. I did push the colors up just a little bit, and I pulled the brightness in the sky down just to retain a bit of detail in the clouds. That was all I really did. That was when I'm editing, my line of thought is to keep something as true to how I saw it as possible. So that's what I aimed to do with it. This is another one of the scenes. This one, if I had this to reshoot, which I might at some point, my biggest difference would be that I would probably work at 24mm, which I did, but I would probably open the aperture up to 2.8 and lose the background a bit more. So, things to try. I'll probably be good back there. And then people love the rocks. Apparently people just love rocks. It was quite impressive to see. And finally this morning, the trilliums are in bloom. Very happy with how they're looking right now. Less of the red ones than normal. The red ones are quite rare though. And as I said, I've been playing with the polarizer now, so that's where some of this is coming from. But you will be seeing a couple of these as well. So that's been what I've been up to this week so far. Tomorrow the plan is to go to Killarney Provincial Park and do a couple of the day hikes, and I almost guarantee that there will be video next week from there, unless I'm really unhappy with it. That is my plan. Between that, hopefully doing some astrophotography this week, and more trilliums on Friday, I think. That's my next 2 days, so I'll be quite busy with that. So, to update, the planned trip to Killarney didn't really happen. I ended up deciding to go to Arrowhead Provincial Park instead of Killarney, mainly because it was going to be a fair bit closer. So I thought, if I do this, I can go and hike more trails, I can see more things, and if I want, I can even hit some of the nearby Western Algonquin Park locations. I have to say, right now, just with everything still being kind of in the early stages of reopening post-lockdown, well, I say post-lockdown, we're still in lockdown. With everything in the slow stages of reopening in this lockdown, Arrowhead only have 2 trails open, and I was disappointed, especially because the Big River Bend is one of the most popular spots in that park. They don't have any access to that right now. The only trails that you have access to are the 2 right at the main gate, which wasn't bad, but there were a lot of parents with their little kids out, local or from a little further afield, who were, they're trying to get out and take their families out a little bit, just to break up the monotony of being at home. And the trails were not all geared for the children. Neither one was very photogenic either. I hate to say it. It's just too bad, because you're out in nature, there's always something to see. But the one trail has an overlook, and the only thing you could see from the overlook was a quarry and the highway. A little bit disappointing. So anyway, I'm going to kind of end off here for this week. I know this week hasn't really been what my normal videos are like. It's not really what I wanted to do this week either, let's put it that way. But I do promise to have something next week, because I'm going to be going and seeing a few different places next week. So that's kind of where I am right now, but I'm going to post the photos I've been shooting. I'm going to have that side by side as well. You will have seen it by now, that side by side with and without the polarizer. I'm going to have a few new images in here as well, so you're still getting some stuff. I do apologize that it's not me out shooting a park or anything today, but there'll still be some new photos for you. So I hope you all have enjoyed. I know it's not quite what was originally planned. I do apologize for that. But we should be back to our normal scheduled programming next week, guys. So I hope you've enjoyed. If you have any questions or anything, let me know. And by all means, make sure, if you haven't been going on, follow the link in the description. I have my Instagram feed, which will have some of the new photos, as well as my website, which I'll be updating with the new images as well. Check them out, and I hope you enjoy. All right, stay safe, everyone, and I'll catch you next week. Bye for now.